A trend that has gotten really popular on the internet is the idea of hating on something. I think this can be contributed to YouTubers such as I Hate Everything and Your Movie Sucks, who make videos criticizing movies to its core. People like watching these videos, rightfully so, because they're funny. But one thing I really seem to dislike about this whole hate on everything community is that certain people just like to hate on something just to hate on it. It's almost like they just hate on something just so that they can seem intelligent. My response is that I'll be starting my own series. This will be in the vein of many other YouTubers such as I Hate Everything, but instead of focusing on just hating certain aspects of something, I will also talk about certain things that I actually enjoy and why. And if you can't tell by the title, this video I'll be talking about why 2016 doesn't deserve all the hate it's getting. One thing that a lot of people seem to really hate is 2016, and it really only seems to be for two reasons. One, Trump won the election, and two, a lot of great people died. Trump winning the election is something that was quite a shock for everyone. I remember election night when all the votes were tolling in and everyone was losing their minds, including me. But I soon realized that what was done and I moved on, because you see, I don't think 2016 was necessarily a bad year, but instead it was a rather interesting one. And what was interesting to me was all the change that happened. And if you probably know the human race at this point, you would know that not a lot of people like change in their life. Trump winning the election changes a lot of standards compared to previous elections. So in the future, I hope that this teaches people to not underestimate certain people's power and also to not rig your fucking primaries. The second reason a lot of people seem to hate 2016 is the fact that so many famous people died. Now I know this might sound a bit insensitive, but these deaths really don't make me sad. There are a lot of people who die every year, so in my opinion, it's kind of a bit disrespectful to make someone's death a 2016 sucked joke. But instead, we should appreciate what these certain people provided for in society. Another interpretation could be that this is bad because we're losing a piece of art that we really won't ever be able to get again once these people die. And in that case, I guess I could agree. As fellow YouTuber Digibro once said, the reason why we don't get more anime in the vein of older anime is because people straight up die, so the style ends up dying itself. And if we take a look at what modern art has to offer, yeah, I guess I'm a bit scared. I'm not saying that modern art isn't necessarily good. In fact, there's still a lot of good modern art coming out. But if we look at the stuff mainstream media is eating up, I guess I am really scared for what's the future of art at this point. Because look, we're getting a fucking emoji movie. So I guess you guys can understand where I'm kind of coming from with this point of view. I don't know about you guys personally, but 2016 was actually a great year for me. YouTube is one of my main sources of entertainment, and while it's been a very weird year for YouTube, either less, a lot of great content still came out of it. Another change that came upon me in 2016 is anime. Up until this year, I felt like I only really liked anime, but now I feel like I absolutely adore the medium. Before this year, I was more of a seasonal viewer, and I wasn't really enjoying much of anything, until I finally quit watching seasonal anime altogether, and I started watching a lot of old stuff that I've never really seen before, and they were all great. I would even say that majority of my favorite stuff that I watched throughout my whole entire life has been this year. I also got into reading manga, which is something that I really didn't think I'll be able to do before, but now I guess I do. Cool, right? And lastly, starting this YouTube channel has been something that's great for me. Yes, I haven't done anything too extravagant yet, but I would consider this year kind of my building block for me to see what I can do next year. In conclusion, 2016 was actually a pretty a-okay year, and this is coming from a guy who's usually a downer on all these things. Like, honestly, I thought 2015 was actually a really bad year for a lot of things, which is something I want to bring up because a lot of these other YouTubers did why 2016 videos before I did, and something that they brought up is that we didn't have another Holocaust, we didn't have another 9/11 or anything like that. So why are you guys complaining about 2016 being a bad year is beyond me. Now, one thing I could consider bad that happened this year is all the climate change going around, which is pretty much meaning that the world is gonna end shorter than we expected. But hey, let's not live in the future. Let's live now for a while.